Ooh, welcome everyone to the NFL pregame show on the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. Football, man. It's a week like this that makes you remember: A, the NFL is weird to bet on. B, injuries suck.
Now, what do you mean? What are the injuries that are bumming you out, Ryan?
I just think,
besides the fact that Carson Wentz is actually playing, we took Indy
good.
plus 5.5.
That's good.
No, that's not good because we picked Indy.
I think it probably helps our bet today.
I completely disagree.
Okay.
Jacob Eason, we need the backup quarterback mojo. Carson Wentz playing most certainly hurts our chances of covering the spread with the Colts. I guess you could say we got the best of the number because now it's down to 4.5.
Oh, they're sharp, Sean.
Yeah. We got
obviously the marketplace also likes Carson Wentz more than Jacob Eason, I guess.
Yes.
Or they just listen to the podcast. No, the injuries that were bumming me out, just the late stuff, right? Like having to wait Dalvin Cook, he's going to be out. Having to wait DeAndre Hopkins, he's in, but what's he going to be like? Fantasy football lineups are in shambles. I also learned this week that I'm in a fantasy league, Sean, where you can pick up players that are playing. Someone picked up Chuba Hubbard during the game. Complete dog shit. Get your rules right, leagues. Jesus Christ.
Wait, and you can play him in the league?
No, but like it's one of these leagues where the guy who set it up sits in front of his computer all day.
Yeah,
like a goddamn jabroni, and so he just wants to pick people up. Anyway, this is not important. Let's talk about games we can bet on.
Yeah. So if you guys have any sort of fantasy questions, late line movement, start 'em, sit 'em, getting down on bets, whatever it is, feel free to give us a call on Twitter at Gambling Podcast or hit us up in the YouTube chat. We are live on Twitter Spaces, so if you guys want to request to talk, we can do that.
We can slide in anywhere you like.
Slide in and get it going. Good day in college football. Made some nice money there. Would have really cleaned up if Cal money line would have come through. But hit my lock, hit my bonus lock, and hit my dog. So good way to start the Saturday, bringing it into NFL Sunday.
Sean, I've noticed you didn't mention my bonus lock hit of UTSA over Memphis. Thank you very much on the money line.
Well, let's take a look. And Win is nice enough to send these over. Highest liability for the Win right now. The Win, three of their biggest liabilities are Arizona Cardinals -7.5 at Jacksonville Jaguars. Kansas City Chiefs -7 versus the Los Angeles Chargers.
Nice. I'm on
San Diego Superchargers.
And Buffalo Bills -7 versus the Washington Football Team.
Oh, I'm on the opposite side of all of those, Sean.
Well, I'm on the Chiefs, and again, I know the Chiefs haven't been great against the spread lately, but I'm taking solace in the fact that it's Kansas City, it's at home, it's coming off of a loss, and also we picked it at 6.5.
We did pick it at 6.5,
so I feel pretty good with that number. I'm not too worried. Juicy prop for the Jags Arizona game, Kramer. What would you look to get involved there?
Well, I was going to come into this telling you should with the injury to DeAndre Hopkins. And let's just assume he's playing, but he's not 100%, which means decoy mode. Who is the guy that's going to benefit? We saw what Max Williams can do with a ton of work last week. He's an interesting prop guy, but honestly, it's a little bit chasing money here, and it's Rondale Moore. If there's one guy, again going back to the touchdown props, if there's one guy I could see popping for a couple touchdowns, it's a guy like Rondale Moore, who you can get at 12-1 for the 2 touchdown prop.
Ooh, I like that.
That would be my angle. The other kind of even grosser angle would be find a way to take over on the Jags rushing yards. Maybe it's a James Robinson prop. Maybe it's a Trevor Lawrence rushing yard prop. Back against the wall, Urban Meyer coaching for his job. Sean, and by the way, by next episode,
is he? I mean, because I feel like the job he wants is USC. So by coaching for his job is USC. That's the job he wants. So I think coaching poorly is helping him get the job he ultimately wants.
The comment he made about or the Alabama every week being like Alabama, that is recorded. So we'll have audio of that for the next episode, Sean.
That is hilarious. Where he's like surprised that there's so many good players in the NFL It's like playing Alabama every week.
You know what that is? That's a guy who doesn't know how to talk to other humans, trying to make friendly conversation and showing vulnerability. All right, we got our first caller. Let's bring him on. Friend of the program, contributor to SGPN, contributor to many podcasts as well. The NBA gambling podcast, the college football experience. Terrell Furman. I know you're prepping for a big trip, getting ready to be deployed, Terrell. But before that, I'm sure you're here to give us some lead pipe locks. No, I did that awesome talk up, and he's not even there.
Do you have it? Do you have the mic set up, Ryan?
No, we're good. Hold on, let me see if I can do this. Yeah, he's here. He's just not here.
Okay.
All right, Terrell, when you're ready, come back, bro. But yeah, I mean, I think coming back to just finish the point on the Jags game, I do think that the way this game's being bet, the way that the Jags and Urban Meyer tend to want to be as a team, I think could show up in this game. Cliff Kingsbury can give up a lead. So I'm kind of intrigued with some of the offensive guys.
Well, I still think Marvin Jones has himself a game. He is there. He's getting a ton of, a ton of action. Darren Bevel clearly wants him involved in the offense. So I still think loading up Marvin Jones. I think Marvin Jones has himself a big game, and maybe look at him.
You like Marvin
for some of these crazy bets. Jimmy Gonzalez. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Hopefully, he said he's going Falcons. I don't care what the SGPN gods say. Kramer, are you nervous that the line has gone down to Giants -2.5?
Nervous for who? Because you know what they say. No, I don't understand the line movement. Obviously, people like Cordell Patterson. I guess they like Mike Davis. They like Arthur Smith. They like what they've seen on the field so far. I get it. They didn't lose by as many points as it looks like last week. Yep. Maybe that's the angle. I think we have Terrell back. I am not nervous. Good luck with your Falcons bet, Mr. Gonzalez. Terrell, you back with us?
Yes.
There we go.
What's going on, fellas?
What's happening, man?
Happy Sunday, bro. What do you got for us today?
Touchdown parlay.
Ooh.
Hey, if you see me in the chat, I've been dangerously close to this for weeks. Dangerously close for weeks. Jalen Reagor, it was a touchdown, ladies and gentlemen. It was a touchdown.
All right.
What do you got?
All right, let's do. I got a 4-teamer, pays out 90-1.
Ooh.
So we're gonna do Chase Claypool. Is no Deontay Johnson. That Bengals secondary is very, very bad. I think Chase can get behind them for one. He's due. Kyle Pitts on the Giants. The Giants cannot guard the tight end position. Kyle Pitts is looking for that breakout day. So we got Kyle Pitts in there. Darnell Mooney plus 370 right now. He seems to, when I've seen Justin Fields play, he's one of his favorite targets. So I think Darnell Mooney might be able to do a little something today. And then DJ Chark in this Jacksonville game, I think that there's going to be a lot of points scored. And I think Jacksonville is going to cover, if not come out with a win. And I just can't imagine that DJ Chark doesn't get some of this work against this terrible Cardinals defense that's traveling cross coast.
All right.
Yeah,
I don't mind anything you just threw out there, Terrell.
Love it. And
Good.
at 90-1, the price is certainly right.
We're
Let's
on a
go,
bit
baby.
of a heater giving out.
Oh yeah, we've gone this far into the show and haven't even touted that we both gave out. We both gave out Sam Darnold first touchdown. Some people said they got it as high as like 25-1. I think we gave it out as 18-1.
So what did I tell you?
That felt pretty good.
What did I tell you in the offices like a week ago about my strategy with the first touchdown props this year? I'm going to be looking to take quarterbacks early and off, and so far it's paid off
today.
Oh, I was just you bit my transition. Trevor Lawrence, a fun play in that Jacksonville game for first touchdown. Sean, I also like Taylor Heineke first touchdown in the Buffalo game. That could be a fun one. Last one I would throw out, Justin Herbert first touchdown in the Chiefs game. So I'm not taking the chalk with Justin Fields. Thanks for the picks, Terrell.
Yeah, for sure. Let it ride.
All right, bro.
Let it ride. You're talking about first half bets. Alabama, someone tagged us in this. Alabama is now 14-3 against the spread in the first half. How have we not been on this, Ryan? How have we not?
You had a great day in college football.
Yes.
I had a couple things. All in all, though, I picked a bad day to kind of expand my betting portfolio. Really wanted to get it to 20. I tweeted out yesterday. I was at 21 bets. I needed to get to 26. Those 5 were all losers. So good thing I didn't share those with anyone.
Max Master wants to know, who do I moneyline parlay the Colts with? I was on parlaying the Colts with the Chicago Bears. That was my Norm Macdonald Super D-Gen salute play of the day.
You want to feed that donkey some beer? Get it all messed up?
It's Miami.
Well, okay. I mean, I also like Miami. Miami was my dog on the show. Are we worried at all about this Miami team, Ryan? That maybe the public's getting behind this Miami team?
Interesting bit of data. Here's a data point I don't think we've seen as long as we've been doing the contests. But 2 of the top 5 most popular plays are both the Raiders and the Dolphins.
So that to me is like the general public is on the Dolphins, or at least the public in the contest, which is a little different sometimes than the public overall. But that the local money, the local guys, the local people involved in the contest, they're all over the Raiders. Is
that what you think it is? See, my mind, because you don't typically see this in the contest, but I think you see a situation where there is a population out there that just think that has readjusted the Raiders, and perhaps that's it. Because if you look at the money breakdown, we're still seeing. I mean, if you had to take a guess, would you be surprised to hear this is the worst discrepancy on the board?
Really,
in terms of it's close with the Cardinals, but like it's in that same ballpark. So at some point, I think a team with a good defense, a backup quarterback, we discussed the reasons why the bump down to Brissett, probably not as big as they're making it seem. So that big 3-4 point move from the look ahead just seemed too much value to take. And the last thing I'll say is, have we not forgotten the preseason and our conversations about John Gruden? Think about what John Gruden has done in the first week of the season.
We got to get our shit going mentally.
He's beaten early season, AKA preseason God, John Harbaugh, and a much superior team at home in a primetime spot. He then went on the road and defeated something he was not good at, winning a game early against a team with a good defense, Pittsburgh. I just think this team the stock is high. Sell, sell, sell.
Yeah, and I like Jacoby Brissett. I think what we saw to Brissett getting put into that game in relief, I think we're going to see a much better version of Jacoby Brissett come kickoff here in just a little bit.
And I prediction here, I think you take the Devontae Parker over on catches. He's going to see a lot of targets. I think we're going to see the target distribution narrow to Devontae Parker and someone. I'm not sure who that someone is. I'm hopeful it's Gesicki.
Yeah, Devontae Parker is a fun DFS play. I'll rattle through my DFS lineup. Kramer, tell me if you think I should make any sort of late adjustments.
You know I'm anti-late adjustments.
But I got Justin Fields, Kareem Hunt, Mike Davis, Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, Darnell Mooney, who looked like he was kind of on the injury report. Now he's a healthy go. Darren Waller, Marvin Jones Jr., and the Titans defense.
Yeah, I mean, there's what are you going to change?
I don't know.
There's nothing to change there. You're just flexing, huh?
No. I considered maybe changing Darnell Mooney, but he is my stack piece. I'd like to keep that. I like the bringing back with the running back because now it sounds like Odell Beckham Jr. is going to play, Ryan.
Oh yeah.
But how much do we get out of?
Oh yeah.
How much do we get out of the boat trip himself?
Well, I would say this. I think this could be a big game, a big day for former and current super athletes of the New York Giants. We discussed this game. You're on the other side. I just think this is a game where we're going to see. This is going to be about Justin Fields. I think maybe Beckham makes a play. I can't imagine he's going to be out there for a ton. But maybe he makes a play. Maybe he's a decoy.
Well, and as far as usage, Ryan, where are you at? Should we be playing Sterling Shepard because it's come out now that Kenny Galladay's conditioning isn't where they want it at, that he's going to have a reduced role as far as snap count. Does that create opportunities for other Giants?
Well, I mean, you're bringing up Sterling Shepard. He's been performing. He's put up points.
No, that's what I'm saying. Should we look to put him in our DFS lineups? Is he underpriced?
I think he's probably always going to be underpriced because he has the profile of a high floor, low ceiling guy, but he's getting the looks. I mean, if you have Sterling Shepard and you aren't starting him this week, you must have a pretty good roster of receivers. He has a good matchup. It sounds like he's going to get more of the work. He's just the guy who's open all the time.
Yeah.
The guy, I think the more clever play here is something like Darius Slayton or even with all the news about Evan Ingram, sliding Kyle Rudolph in there still. But
what's the latest Evan Ingram news?
Oh, just that he's going to be back.
Oh, okay.
So people are like, oh, this is another mouth to feed. I don't know how much work he's going to actually get.
Pablo in the chat wants to know, is Will Fuller playing?
Yes.
He is. That could be an interesting super deep DFS sleeper you may want to look to build a lineup around.
Hello.
Max requested the Mr. Jones.
So I figured we'd go through a quick. I got some of the key injuries today. We already talked about Galladay and Hopkins and Ingram, but we also Lamar Jackson. You're not doing anything with him, right? You're still playing him. He's a quote game time decision. Some weirdness in there. I mean, they are playing the Lions.
Well, yeah, and I love that there is any sort of weirdness. Lamar is actually the DFS. John Jackson made him his flowchart quarterback. I may be talking myself into a late build. Starting with
Lamar?
No, starting with Jared Goff.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, Jared Goff has really slid into our hearts. And look, the Lamar thing is stupid. I mean, he had an illness. He did the flip, and then he said it was his hip from the flip, and then it was turned out he was just like he had some shits because it was like non-COVID injury, non-COVID illness, which is what, food poisoning. Like he either got hungover, drunk, something caused him to shit a lot. He's back. Hollywood Brown, another guy. It sounds like he's less likely. T. Higgins, who isn't going to be in. We haven't discussed this side of it yet, but Tyler Boyd. I know Jamar Chase is obviously going to be jammed into lineups with the Higgins news, but Tyler Boyd, we haven't had that big game from him. He's another fun prop guy. Also, kind of feel like I need to slide him in a DFS lineup. Darrell Henderson was the last one I wanted to bring. Dalvin Cook obviously out. Alexander Madison. Love my quarterback stack with the Vikings, but Darrell Henderson is the other one. Are we starting Sony Michel in the league that we have him, Sean?
That's interesting.
I mean, it's not the best matchup against the Bucks.
Well, yeah, because their run defense is so good.
But Sony Michel has looked way better than when he was on the Patriots.
Yeah,
just something to think about.
We got some listener questions. Derek McKnight wants to know: would you play OBJ over Galladay? Oh man, I wouldn't want to have to play either of those guys in a managed league. What would you do, Kramer?
I would be careful. I would be careful of preseason news that says, or pregame news that says Galladay is going to get reduced work, because that reduced work is still probably going to involve red zone targets, assuming they're driving the ball on the Falcons. I think with Beckham, you don't know what he's going to do. I think it's exciting to have him back, but I don't know if you can start him until you see something. Last guy before we take our next caller, Elijah Mitchell. With the injury, Trey Sermon looks to get the bulk of the carries. What a roller coaster ride Trey Sermon owners have gone on, but it looks like tonight could be his night against the Green Bay team, who likes to give up big games to San Francisco running backs. All right. Do we want to take a chat question, or should we bring on our guy, Jong?
Sure. Bring on Jong.
Jong, bring it to us. What do we got here? What's the DGen play?
What a day to be alive.
Oh, hello,
exactly.
John.
UCLA covered. Great Saturday for John. Great Saturday for me.
Don't forget USC lost too. So
yeah,
that's just as good. I'm ready to eat a W today. Jameis Winston over 13.5 rushing yards.
Ooh.
Think about this right here. The Belichick, he game plans around, containing the best player. Kamara's gonna, be the focus on, from a defensive standpoint. There is no such thing as a designed Jameis Winston run, but he runs.
Yeah.
In his blowout, loss to the Packers, he still rushed for 37. Last week he rushed for 19, 13.5. He'll fall down and get 13.5 yards. He'll sneeze and get 13.5 yards, over 13.5 yards. Let's go.
You know what I like about that? Because we all saw the videos of him working the mitts, not in the traditional sense, but his trainers were just whacking him in the face and the head as he was moving around. So I think he can get a couple yards after contact too. All right, John, best of luck today, bro.
Let it ride.
Roddy Richards wants to know: do you like Joe Burrow throwing for over 256 yards versus the Steelers? I would say no. I still think, I know the Steelers are missing a ton of guys on defense, but the Bengals are missing T. Higgins. And again, like I don't know. I guess I'm still skeptical of Joe Burrow and just how healthy he is. These Bengals Steelers games, I think, have a. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a very ugly game. you're looking at player props in that game, I do like Chase Claypool. I think with no Deontay Johnson, again, even though Big Ben, sounds like God knows what's going to happen there at the quarterback position. I think Chase Claypool is going to get all those easy PPR points that Deontay Johnson would normally get.
I mean, if I'm galaxy branding this, I know Big Ben has a rapport with Deontay Johnson. He clearly trusts him. My concern would be if that defaults to Juju.
Yeah.
And not like Claypool still becomes the big play guy. On the other side of the ball, the TJ Watt thing almost has me off of Pittsburgh altogether. But Devin Bush is back. So that I don't know if the Bush being back can help with Watt not being there, but what a game. I mean, it was an easy handicap, but I think it's still an easy handicap because the Steelers know how to deal with the
Bengals. Joe Brady on the road in Pittsburgh.
Don't understand Joe Burrow. Joe Brady already played this week. And don't overestimate. T. Higgins is his favorite receiver, and he's not going to be out there. So I think that does play a role.
Yeah, no, 100% agree. And yeah, I think that could mess up Burrow a little bit. And it just seems like it has the opportunity to be a pretty ugly game. Max wants to know Cole Beasley or Zack Pascal, right?
Ooh, chasing volume or chasing touchdown. Why are we going to fight the Pascal thing at this point?
Yeah, and especially now that Wentz is playing, it seems like Pascal is clearly his guy.
Maybe not his guy all the time because Pittman's getting work, but his guy around the red zone.
And Tennessee's passing defense has been horrible. So if there is a game for even Pascal to break out more, you would think it would be this one. I mean, I guess I don't hate the Cole Beasley play, but I would have Pascal above Beasley.
Yeah, I mean, I not a big fan of starting guys who drop rap albums to start the year. I think that in general that's a tough angle. But yeah, I Zack Pascal, take the upside.
Yep, let's do it.
What else we got, Sean? 9:24.
9:24. Counting it down to kickoff.
God's eye is waiting to open up and show us the greatness of the National Football League. We still have my first half parlay coming a little bit later in the show. At the end of the show, are we going to give out some additional money line parlays? Anything else we can give out, Sean? Do you got a prop?
Let me see what I'll open up my.
Let's do. I mean, while you're doing that, rapid fire. We already talked Arizona, Jacksonville. We like the dog side of that. Colts, Tennessee. We like the dog side of that. Ravens, Titans, or Ravens, Lions. What are we doing with that? Are we still?
Oh yeah,
we're still on the dog. We still like the idea that maybe Lamar isn't 100% not focused on this game. Skins, Bills. We're still on the dog side there.
Yep.
Saints and Patriots. This was a game we haven't talked about much. I think a lot has been made about, Kamara is going to be shut down because Bill Belichick's great. The injury report is slimming for the Saints. The coaches are getting healthier. Are you still on the Patriots? I take it.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is a 3-team parlay a money line parlay that our buddy Go Bearcats threw out in our Slack channel. If you're not in the Slack channel, I don't know what you're doing. He threw this out. I like it. Chiefs money line, Seahawks money line, Steelers money line plus 300.
Okay.
That feels pretty good. Again, I'm still nervous about the Steelers team. Seahawks on the road. Love Kansas City. Again, all just 3 money lines.
You made a good point about the Bengals. And I'm blank. What's the coach's name? This is a pure Mike Tomlin shoves most coaches in the locker from an appearance standpoint, but Zack Taylor.
Yeah, I think Zack Taylor's 1-15-1 on the road as a head coach.
They have a guy.
So you're basically getting them on the money line.
Zack Taylor, he looks like a guy who just gets Tomlin's coffee or something. I don't know.
Logan Banks saying any props you guys love. We hit on some earlier. Again, I still think Marvin Jones, any sort of over catches receptions, Marvin Jones. I think Tyreek Hill, again, as chalky as it seems, I think he has a massive bounce back day. I mean, Tyreek Hill doesn't have duds back to back. And as much as we've thought the defense has gotten better for the Los Angeles Superchargers, I think they're going to have their hands full in Kansas City.
I like your angle about Tyreek Hill not having a couple duds in a row. I don't have much exposure to him this week in DFS, but I did have to throw him in a lineup. In that game, I really like the props for the Chargers. I like. I'm I'm gonna pull it up because the Eckler receptions prop could start to be something we have to track game to game.
Yeah,
and I really like Keenan Allen. Mike Williams is getting a lot of press right now. Keenan Allen's still a bad man. So he is. He's a bad man. We saw him in Hard Knocks last year. Anthony Lynn is a football guy, and he likes Keenan Allen. But if I'm, let's see, where are we at? We're on the receptions tab. You know what? Part of all these props every Sunday, it's a little bit overwhelming. Austin Eckler is at 5.5 plus 125 on the over for the catch prop. I don't mind that one. Keenan Allen is at 6.5. Don't mind that one. And you know what? The other one I would take, Jalen Guyton, over 2.5 catches plus 120.
Tons of props, and I'll pull up what I got down on in Prize Picks this week. Check out Prize Picks again. If you don't have a legal book, Prize Picks is a nice option to get involved in some of these
props.
Player entries, as we call them, Ryan.
Sorry, player entries.
What do I got here? Okay, so I have Odell Beckham under 49.5 receiving yards, over Austin Eckler of 53.5 rushing yards, and over 25.5 Danny Dimes rushing yards.
Welcome to the team.
I mean, he just seems to run a ton. I don't see 25.5 feels really low for a guy who just clearly wants to run the ball. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like, I feel like it's a great spot. We got, what do we got coming up? Well, of course, make sure you tune into the recap show. We will be going live on YouTube right after the Sunday night game, ends. We'll break down the entire NFL Sunday, and we'll give out our Monday Night Football player props. Of course, you want to tune in.
Let's go
to hear the recap, but also our insane heater. Can we keep the first touchdown streak alive, Kramer? It's going to be a lot of pressure.
What do you mean, can we?
Yeah, we
tune
will.
in when we.
Yes, exactly. And Max shouting out before I leave for breakfast. Thank you guys, and for what you do. I look forward to the NFL prediction podcast the most every week. Well, that is Max because it's the National Football League. Let's fucking go. NFL Sunday is here. Should check out WinBet. Get that $1,000 free play, risk-free bet, and of course, WinBet, man. Triple the spread. That's right. Instead of getting the Packers at +3.5, you can get it at +10.5, +100.
Free money, bro.
Free money. We haven't hit on that game too much. I'm still on the Packers. Kramer, final thoughts on the Sunday night game?
I think all the money's coming in on San Francisco. I don't mind the Packers here. Aaron Rodgers, prime time.
That's good. That's good to hear because I was worried that the Packers would become a public dog and have a little bit of fleas, and everyone deciding to ride him and what he could do. And I don't know. You could just see the narrative for him to become a
anecdotal, just conversation on the side. You got a couple parents on the teams that are big into betting on the game, so the conversation gets going, and everyone is on the Niners this weekend. So
really,
again, small sample size. We're talking, some youth soccer sidelines, but lots of people liking laying the points with the Niners. All right, I got a couple parlays to close it out. Shout out to Nick Francis giving me a little musing, a first quarter 3-teamer. Give me the Lions +0.5. Give me the Colts +0.5. And Sean, somehow the Redskins are catching 3 points in the first quarter. What game?
That is crazy.
What I mean, the Bears are too. I don't quite understand. So I'll do Washington and shout out to anyone that still has a book that calls them the Washington Redskins. 3-teamer, and then my 5-team first half. Parlay. Give me the Colts +3, the football team +4.5, Chargers +4, Giants -1.5, and the Lions +4.5. On a side note, the Lions +4.5 as a standalone bet feels pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised to see this Baltimore team come out a little slow, little sluggish. Anything else to give out to the fans, Sean?
I don't know. I think we did it.
Did we give out enough money?
We did it all. Let's go, baby. And shout out to Darius Knox, DGen Nation. What's up, boys?
#Degens only.
All right, we got to go get ready to watch 10 hours of NFL football. We'll be back after the games. Thank you guys for tuning in. Give us a follow on Twitter @Gambling Podcast. For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
Sean, today is the day I stand on this table and say, all right.
Kramer. Let it ride.